Magic.
You say under Coven?
No.
Welcome to Under Coven with Sam
and Katie, the spiritual podcast for regular people.
Cool people. Fun people.
Just not boring people.
We hope you love it.
Hi.
You threw a rager for your 3-year-old.
Oh my God.
Say more.
You're going there. Okay. My son recently turned 3 and we
played beer pong.
Played a lot of beer pong with my nannies.
Oh.
And I say nannies, God, like not like my nanny and then like a family member that watches our kids.
Nannies are childcare. It's okay to say
I know,
it.
but like it makes it sound like I have 12 nannies. Or something.
I thought you meant just like this one and your previous ones or something, like all of them came.
Yeah, they did, yes.
Yeah.
But we're so lucky that I feel like we're still at the age at 3 where it can be like, it's an adult
parent party.
Yes,
yeah.
They're going to bed both my kids are asleep by 8.
Yeah, but you did it in a way that most people don't. Like they're like, hey, it's my child's, like a friend of ours that's literally happening like 2 weekends from now. It's like her kid's 4th birthday and it's from 11 to 1. That's normal.
Yeah, but that's like, see, for me, that's almost more stressful because
it's so hard because all the families have to time it around nap time. You have to time it at your house around nap time. But because I think people normally think about, like obviously their first birthday was a long time ago, but we threw their first birthday like one of their wake windows.
Yeah.
It was like people came over at the end of nap and then they woke up and then but our friends stayed really late but not late like into the night like yours, like late for the party because we started at midday. So not everyone does this. It's genius, I think.
We also, it's like family. And then we had everyone's out of town the 4th of July weekend,
right?
Yeah,
I'm sad we missed it.
I'm sad too. But so there were 2 other kids there that essentially legitimized that it was a child's party.
Oh, that's it?
That's it. 4 children.
At least we would have brought the ratio up to 5.
Literally. And it was so nice because like there's 12 kids that want to spend time with, or 12 adults that want to spend time with Lang.
Right, so you can actually.
Oh my God. Yeah. I was so way too relaxed. Had a lot of fun. It was great, but it was so much fun. My entire family was there. My brother's new fiance was amazing.
Oh my God, your brother came too?
Yes.
I don't think I knew that was happening.
Oh yeah, it was like everybody.
Oh my God.
My niece, her friend, like it was.
Oh, I'm extra sad. I could've met your whole family.
Everybody, yes. It was it was so fun. I think my nanny left at midnight.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
G?
Yeah.
That's fucking amazing. Yeah. She's great.
And then we moved the party inside and I started reading tarot for everyone.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
So I saw you had reposted that your sister-in-law was like, and we ended the night with tarot readings from Katie. And I was like, oh, this is weird. She's posting a post from Chicago because you were also just there.
True.
But I did not connect that they came.
Yeah, they came and then poor my niece pulled some interesting cards about her new relationship. So we'll see how that goes.
Bad?
I just think hard.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think it's just hard. But she's going to murder me for even mentioning it right here.
Oh, well. Don't tell her to listen to this one.
Yeah.
See, here's my take on that, because now we're going to go too into it.
Yes.
But based on these stories about these people and the impetus of this relationship, I feel like this is her person, so it's got to be hard.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what I think the feeling is like whenever I do end the reading and I legitimately say this, it feels really good. And it feels like I always pull like a major arcana card, which is essentially like a life theme versus like a little chapter. So that always feels really good, but it's just so funny. And I do like, that's like half of what I do for tarot is read love life for her friends.
I know you've told me that before, which is so funny.
It's so fun though.
It's a lighter energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, for them, it's obviously not. It's like so intense, but like if I can empower them and also just I can't imagine. Can you imagine dating a 21-year-old right now?
No.
Like, or not like
being a 21-year-old in a relationship.
Yeah. It's like the worst.
Yeah, it is the worst. It's hard to like put yourself back there because the things you're dealing with now are like 1,000 times more intense than what that feels like. But the way that feels so deep and hard and so like your life is over and like and whatever.
If the guy doesn't like me or
yeah,
it's so there's a lot of feelings.
Yeah.
Which totally makes sense. But anyway, no, it was wonderful. But I'm like, when is it going to turn into I have to be responsible. Next one.
The four, he's gonna be completely aware, and B want to have a lot of friends there.
Well, yeah, the friends thing is.
That's when it's yeah.
I want to pick the friends.
I know, right? Well, you can pick the friends because those are the friends you're gonna have him hanging out with.
That's true,
right? Like, okay, maybe a couple of school friends, but
But I want to also like the parents.
I know that part's tricky.
Yeah.
I think one time a friend of mine. So we've talked about like compound life and living life with your friends and how much this means, and they're your chosen family. My best friend from growing up's husband, they lived in Colorado for a while. Now they're back in Philly, but they were choosing like, they think this was before they moved to Colorado, like forever ago, choosing like where they were going to live and being around their friends. And her husband said to me like, yeah, well, the reality is like our friends are going to become our kids' friends. And like, it's not, and I remember being like, I accept this as zero.
Yeah.
Take it back.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
Yeah.
Like and then your life, the way that it evolves, like hopefully you meet cool ones, but it is a proximity thing.
Totally.
And so like, yes, all of my friends will always be my best friends, and whoever's in the kids' class is who we're going to be spending time with, which is just like crazy to think about.
Well, also I think that's why like the school matters, like the location matters. Like there's so many factors where you're hopefully more likely to find people that you want to spend a lot of time with.
Which leads me to my next point.
Yes.
Which is I hate to tell you this, but speaking of our weekends,
I'm like nervous.
And the party, I know. Well, I went back to New Jersey.
Yes.
And it was like everything I knew it was going to be, but it's like sitting in such a way that's actually really hard.
What do you mean?
One of my best friends from growing up had a party, and it was all my best friends from growing up. A lot of them have children, and it was like everything I want. It's all of us are in the same life stage, and they feel like family because they've known me my whole life.
Yeah.
And so, granted, I didn't get to talk to really anyone because we all have very young children, and there was a pool.
Yeah.
But it was like so nice. The feeling was so nice, and it was so hard to come back from. And
that feeling, yeah.
And
did you agree with all of their parenting?
Let's think about this.
Because I mean, not that I have anything off the top of my head for me, but I think that will happen at some point, right?
Yeah, that'll definitely happen. I think that because we have twins, there's no breaks. Like there's no time that I'm sitting there seeing what other people are doing.
Fair.
So we went early because it was, my friend had this great idea that he was like, come before nap, put them to nap here.
Smart, so you can just wake up
and so we can have those 2 hours so we can actually talk to our friends. So we did that. And honestly, like before being a mom, I was like so on top of shit, and I'm still on top of shit, but like things just leave your brain, like fly away.
Yes.
So we're in the car and I was like, Michael, did we bring the sleep sacks? And like, are you fucking kidding me? My kids didn't nap. They ran around their pack and plays like it was a WWE
That's so funny
zone
that mattered.
because it keeps them a little bit contained and they're together.
It signals. I see.
So they're able to, they're like jumping up and down. They're throwing things to each other, which they do normally anyway.
Yeah.
But like, honestly, we tried. Like, it wasn't like it was like, oh, 20 minutes isn't working. We fucking left them there for an hour and a half. Like, they'll fall asleep. They'll fall asleep. Because my kids don't skip their nap. They're a little over 2. Like, we're not in that whatever. And no nap happened. We kept going in, hoping, like, sometimes if we lay on the ground, they'll look at us. And so it was like, maybe this will calm you down. And then they'd, like, as soon as we'd leave, they'd pop up and be, like, talking to each other, singing to each other. So we talked to our friends a little bit in that hour and a half window. But mostly I talked to my friends that don't have kids who I haven't seen. Because the other ones were like with their kids. So I can't say that I noticed someone's parenting or not, but we're still really tiny.
Yeah.
And we don't spend enough time. Like I have a really close group of friends here that we all have kids the exact same age. And because our lives met as parents, like I know and see all their parenting styles because I spend time with them as parents.
Yeah.
This was such a tiny glimpse. I can't answer that.
Do they all live in New Jersey?
The ones that
you saw.
So one of my very best friends, actually, that I was just talking to you about, her daughter's 5 months older. She lives in Massachusetts. Okay. But because I was going, she came. Okay. And she just had her second baby. Aww. So when they probably are a similar age difference in yours, but everyone's just a little younger. So that was nice just because I got to hold her little one and meet her finally. But
in a way, that makes me feel better though, because you're not going to move if they're not all there.
Well, that's why I'm getting to. So she doesn't, but then all the other ones there either live in New York or New Jersey.
Okay.
And other, like Sam lives in Philly, which isn't far away from there. The yearning to move is so deep.
Oh.
It's so deep. It won't be tomorrow. Like, I'm building something, Michael's building something. Like, we're establishing, we're not going anywhere probably for 2 years.
Yeah.
But I think after that, and also I need to live by the fucking beach.
Yeah.
I will not, that is home to me. Like, so deeply grounded, that.
I love, well, and it'll be, I mean, 2 years ago, you probably didn't think you'd be where you are right now.
No.
So
I know, right? Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah.
But it is weird the way your like brain switches, because since then, I don't feel like this is home anymore.
Oh,
that one's
wow.
this weekend specifically. Like, I've gone a million times, right? That is where I'm from. But just seeing the life that they're all living and get to live together, that I don't have here.
That's hard.
Yeah.
That's really hard.
Because we have a bunch of friends and we're in similar life stages.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not seeing them as often as these people are seeing each other.
And that's the history you have with your...
Exactly. Right. So it's so comfortable. I haven't seen any of them in forever, but it's like, just pop over.
It's like family, yeah.
And so many of them are moving to the same place and are either, like, a bunch of them have kids. The ones who don't have kids are pregnant. Like, it's it's happening.
It's like the compound is happening without you.
Yeah. And then I have to I like talk myself into why it's okay. And I'm like, well, yeah, it sucks to feel like we're missing this right now. And if we do move in a couple of years, we'll be at a stage where our kids are like enjoying each other, and I can actually talk to my friends.
You can put them in the basement or whatever, yeah.
And you know how I feel about this place. I just don't ever feel like we're going to live the life that we want staying here.
For sure.
But I've always felt that maybe I'm putting a block by doing that.
You could be.
But
a block.
A block.
Manifestation
a
block?
manifestation block. Yeah, but literally, yeah. So good segue.
So, okay. When it comes to manifestation, how do you like think about it in your life? Like day to day, week to week, is it something that you're like consciously like, I want to manifest something, or like, and how do you define it to yourself?
Well, you know what's interesting is because I'm so deep in this world, other people probably don't feel this way, but when something manifests, like that is a normal word in everyday language.
Comes to fruition, right?
And exactly. Yeah. Like this manifested as blah. Like that is just a word that means turned into, like came about. And I now, anytime I hear it, only hear it as, because it's like so prominent now, especially if you're a little bit in this world.
Not even though. Right. In like business.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you're because there is science and so much behind it. Yeah. So it's like defining wise, it's in the spiritual world for me is I think intentionally having something that you have an intention behind that you want to create and then it coming to fruition.
Yeah. Very similar definition. And I think, so I was thinking like your thoughts, but not only your thoughts, obviously your actions dictate your reality.
There's so much. So there's different camps, I would say, of ways to go about it in the spiritual world. So there's like Lacy Phillips with To Be Magnetic. She has a very specific process that I can somewhat describe. Obviously, I don't know all of her details. I did it a very long time ago, so this will be at memory.
Okay.
There's Abraham Hicks, which is really just based on the law of attraction, but they have specific things that they say.
Okay.
And then other different schools of thought. I was just listening to a podcast Kate Northrup was giving about it, and she's about like financial abundance with both from like an actual intelligent choices you're making with money and from an energetic standpoint.
Cool.
And she was speaking about a little bit differently.
Okay.
So I think is creating your own process.
Yeah.
But taking from all of these, right? So I think it's helpful to maybe dive into them.
Yeah.
But what have I found the most success with? Well, the most success I found was before any of this existed.
Being a child.
Being like an adolescent and being unbelievably good without realizing manifesting. And then now I guess I do probably have a little bit of my own practice, but there are key elements that I think are kind of hard to do and that maybe are what people's blocks would be.
Okay.
So the Lacy Phillips she has, and it was like a channeled process. Like it's like she was just skilled at this and calling out these very specific timelines. And it has, like, there's thousands of people in that community. And then the people that write in of how successful it was, like, it's mind-blowing.
Can you just give like a super brief description?
Yes. Yeah. So she has practices where you like have to kind of find your energetic blocks. So she helps go through those depending on where they are, if it's money or if it's love or it's relationships. So she does have, that's important, like finding those elements that are stopping you essentially.
Limited beliefs.
Exactly.
Limiting beliefs.
Limiting beliefs. But so beyond that, she has one part of it is finding quote unquote expanders. And it doesn't have to be someone you know, but it's someone similar to you or that you feel some sort of pull towards, and that they have all the things that you want so that your brain believes it's possible.
Cool.
So that's one part of it.
Okay.
Then she has this part. So as you're going through that and you're figuring out what you want to manifest, I'm sure there's a visioning like exercise. There is a visioning exercise, not necessarily vision board, but like meditation you're doing to get really clear on what it is that you want. Then you find expanders that have it in whatever way, shape, or form. Maybe you have to put 3 different people together to emulate exactly what it is that you're seeking, but showing that your brain it's possible. And then once you've done all that, you like allow it to run its course, and you hit, there's 2 different parts, but this period that she calls the magic dark, where it feels like nothing is happening. And you have to like trust the process, so to speak. So you're like, you want to give up on it and be like, this is bullshit. But you go, that's like apparently a very powerful period of like not letting go. And I don't remember if you have to do both of these if they're connected, but she does have a rock bottom part where it's like things are the worst they could possibly get. And that's where you like transcend. So when you make these choices from belief of like, it's a little wild to think about, but for this example, like if your job is awful and you're staying in this stuck energy because you feel desperation to like have money or whatever, you're like not allowing yourself to get it. So she says to like make these big decisions, like quit your job or like end the relationship or whatever it is, and you become magnetic, and that can catapult you into the manifestation. But she also has these things called tests. So where it's like if you've gotten really clear and you write it all down, and let's say like, it's like, I want to find this man and I want to have this deep love and I want him to come from this background and I want him to have red hair and I want, let's say you get really specific, and I want this, this, and this. And then it will show up, but the guy will have blonde hair. And she says that like that's a test that you turn away. And then on the other side of that is your perfect manifestation. This was her. And also I did this like 8 years ago. So I don't know if it's the same framework, but those are like she has very specific pieces of her manifestation puzzle and a very huge community outpouring that has seen success. So that's one.
I think, so my problem with that though is like, if it's something superficial like that, who the fuck cares?
Maybe I gave bad examples.
No, but I don't know if you did.
Yeah.
I don't think you did, because I think, and it's just also interesting because I think it's good to acknowledge that like things might not come right away and all of that. But there's also to me a little like, I don't know, like there's some piece there that doesn't resonate really well with me.
The formality of it, I think is what's tough.
And like that's just
I think I have a problem in any capacity subscribing to like this works for everyone. I don't think a diet works for everyone. I don't think a job works for everyone. I don't think a style of something works for everyone. I don't think biohacking works for everyone, because we're all, not only are we different physical human bodies, we're all completely different souls with completely different paths. So I don't like anything that's like, here's this formal process, it will work for you. However, clearly it does. Right? Like if that's for you, that's for you. It's not going to be for everyone. And there's Abraham Hicks, who I fucking love. For whatever reason, for me, listening to I don't love listening to books. Well, I used to make fun of my husband for it because I'm like, you're not reading, even though he says he's reading. Because I don't like listening to fiction. But as soon as I started listening to nonfiction, I like got fully on board. So I love listening to nonfiction. And when I listen to any of the Abraham Hicks books, it's church for me. Like nothing it's just really deep and meditative and connected and powerful.
I think I like her voice a lot, right?
It's very calming. And
it threw me off that her name is Abraham.
Her name is Esther.
Oh, Esther, okay.
Yeah. Abraham is who she's channeling. It's like a collective body. Her last name is Hicks, so that's why it's Abraham Hicks. She's Esther Hicks.
Do you believe that she's channeling a body named Abraham?
Yes.
I
do. I fully subscribe to Abraham Hicks. You should listen to it. It's
I've heard it. I've heard like snippets. I've like been fed that content before, and I believe it totally. I believe like the power of it and that it's true. I just don't know if I believe the channeling from a...
The reason I do is because I've listened to the full books, and the language that she's using and the way that she speaks doesn't sound like her or like a human would necessarily be their go-to way. But granted, also, I think she's been doing this for like 30 years or so. So maybe it's now just her persona. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
Like, we could call bullshit on everything.
Sure. But the teachings are amazing.
The teachings are amazing. The concepts they make sense. But they're also hard to put into practice. It's not as formal in this way. It does have steps though, but it's all framed around the law of attraction essentially, which you'll talk about the science behind all this on, but it's like what you're putting out is what you're calling in.
Yeah.
So that's the concept of law of attraction as a whole. But for manifesting in general, granted, I haven't done this one in a long time either, but it's basically like ask and it is given. So you like, you put your request out there. And there's specific things around it, which I'll talk about a little bit of the ways in which you have to believe it. So but then you let it go, essentially. And there's like 5 steps. I forget it all. But that's the general framework. You ask in these ways that I'll say, and then you don't obsess over it. Yeah. And it kind of comes back to you to a degree. The specific parts around it that are key and that are difficult is that the universe or energy, they say, doesn't know the difference between like, I do want this or I don't, like doesn't hear no. So if you're like constantly thinking about like I don't want to get in a car accident, and here's like I want to get in a car accident, like if you obsess over this one way, which gets tricky for me or for anyone that has some sort of anxious thought, you're afraid of it, then that happening if you get really in the weeds. So that's why that gets tricky, which I don't listen to it as much anymore. But I think if I went back, I would hear it the way you're supposed to hear it versus the way over time my brain is shifting it, right? I don't think it's supposed to scare you. But then also you have to, it's the way with which your intention is behind it, which has to do similarly with this yes and no thing. So if you're like, I really want $10,000, but your intention of it is coming from lack or from desperation, like I need $10,000, I want this for these not great reasons, whatever, versus this like expansive understanding of like, this would be great because then I could have like, but the universe deeply knows your intention. So you can't talk your way out of it. Of like, oh, I believe that it's wonderful and it's going to be this, but still somewhere in your core, there's desperation. Like you have to clear that out or it's not going to work. Yeah. And that part is obviously tricky and requires work and digging. Yeah.
It's funny how some of these remind me of religion a little bit, which obviously like is a trigger for me. Yeah. But no, it just reminds me of the other night we had like a super bad thunderstorm at our house and we've lost power for like 3 days recently. Yeah. And I was like, fuck, if we lose power again. And I'm like, thank you for not letting me lose power. But I'm like terrified I'm going to lose power. Right. But then I'm like picturing the next morning having power. But like it's coming from a place of fear.
Of fear.
And like,
so the Kate Northrup one that I was listening to is even more interesting because what was wild is she was talking about how in the 90s, her mom used to have these Abraham Hicks on cassette tapes.
Oh, wow.
And so when she was like a kid, this was her intro.
Oh, so cool.
I know.
Oh, we need to like indoctrinate our kids.
Yes. That's going to happen whether they want it or not. Yes, it's such a part of my like body. But but from that, it was because people will mislead it or mistake it in that like have only positive thoughts, things only positive ways to this point. And what she's saying is like what you're missing is like that is basically spiritual bypassing. Like it's not and it's toxic. Like that's actually not the way you're going to do it because if it's being constantly positive is deeply unhealthy, right? Like it's not realistic, it's not, and you're dismissing all these parts of you that need to be felt. So she was referring to emotions being like deeply important to feel them. Because if you're like, oh, putting sadness in this box here, putting anger in this box here, like not letting them come through, you're creating like kinks in the machine. Yeah. And then you can't have these authentic like belief and desire patterns. But if you let yourself fully feel them, then they're out of you, and then your nervous system is clear. So her whole thing is around regulating your nervous system from an energetic standpoint, from a money standpoint, and so her extra piece of the manifestation puzzle is like having a clear nervous system and being in that like energy.
That's interesting.
And then,
is her thing just manifestation, or is it
not
also,
at all?
Okay.
She was just having a manifestation episode. It's not even her thing at all.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So there's like so many different ways. I'm sure, and that's like 3 of 100. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like
there's so many paths, and very, very brief science on it. And I wish I had more research in front of me, but I just know from like what I've seen, there have been like clinical trials with surgeons, neuroscientists that show how these things actually do rewire your brain.
Yes.
And that is wild to me, that you can like, a thought can change all of these things in your brain and then change your reality. So there is like literal science around this stuff. I think what is so tricky is that it's not like some formula, right? And like, of course, there's different programs and things that you can try. And I think, so I'm curious for you, what has worked the best?
Yeah. So way back when I was totally unaware of all this and just happened to be quote unquote really good at it. A is because it wasn't complicated. I didn't overcomplicate it. I wasn't doing it with this intention at all. I wasn't trying to manifest something. So I think that's another key layer. I was really connected.
Yeah.
I do think gratitude is an important piece of it, but I think it's authentic. So like you sitting there being like, thank you for having power, but like aren't out, you know? So when I was really little, my dad and I would pray every night, but our prayers weren't like, I don't know. I'm sure this was the way people was, but it would be like, thank you for this on the day. Please take care of X, Y, and Z people, like whatever, you know? And so when I would always then do it alone. And I always, for whatever reason.
I'm picturing little Sam.
I know. I always talked to God in the shower. That was like always, because you're alone, I guess, whatever. But I deeply pictured and believed that there was like this God. Like now I don't know
like
that
a
I'm
man?
as clear. A being. Yeah. Like I didn't see a man, but there was something. Like there was someone I was speaking to. Like one specific person, whatever. And now I think it's muddied that because I feel more of like a collective universal energy and higher self and whatever. It's similar to all the things. It's like too convoluted now. Whereas then I think it worked better that I like had a grounding cord of some sort. And so I would talk to God, but I would always be like, I know it's really, you have this big job and you're taking care of all these people. And
sounds like Santa.
Right? And like, I don't want to burden you with these requests that I have. And I'd start with that. And then I'd be like super deeply, honestly grateful first. Yeah. And then ask for whatever this thing was. And like 9 times out of 10, it was never about me. It was like, can you do this for my dad? Or like, can you have this? Which is something I'm working on healing in general because I need to prioritize myself. Yeah. But when it was for me, it was like in the moment, like I'd forget like to study for a test or I'd forget to do a paper or whatever. And I'd learn of it that day. And my energy was a little desperate though, if I think back to it, because I'd be like, fuck, I'm going to fail this test. Yeah. Like, I really hope that it turned, somehow I don't. And I'd walk into the class and there would be a sub every single time, or they'd be like, oh, you know what? We actually decided to give an extra week on the paper, or like every single time without fail. It was like whatever this thing was that I put out there, it came back to me always. And I never thought about it in that way at all. And so then I would say it was uncomplicated. I do think I did have a desperate energy around it, but whatever it was like loving. I don't know. Like there was some positive side of it. It wasn't like I'm gonna die if this doesn't happen, you know. It was just like it would be great if, you know.
It's almost like you built up enough stock with
exactly,
other shit
and
that,
I did. I had tons of gratitude. Like I had good energy and about all of where it was coming from. So I think it was uncomplicated back then. Yeah. Now I've manifested some really crazy shit, but I never have realized it until way after when I'm like reflecting back. And I'm sure everyone could do that exercise and would see it, but without being in it, you don't realize.
Maybe. I think so. Let's also talk about what you've manifested as an adult.
Yeah. So the specific most crazy one, or the one that I can like think about first, is the job that I have. But I was in all these terrible job. So the initial place was desperation, but why I think it came, like it took a while is because eventually by the time I got it, I did get to a place of letting go. But where it started was from a like, dear God, get me out of this situation.
Yeah.
And so I was in these really bad jobs that just like were soul crushing essentially and working so hard and all the things. But because of that, all of those experiences made me want what I wanted. Like, so the things that I wrote down were like, I needed a deep flexibility. I needed like this ability to like work from home and choose whatever. I had a very specific amount of money written down. I had like all of these things, like relationships, the way things worked. Like it was very specific. It was a long list. And I wrote it down from this like place of shit, I need this. I listed it all out. I folded the paper, I put it in my wallet, and I carried it around with me. But I didn't take it out and look at it. It was just there.
Yeah.
And then eventually, series of events, we were moving. I got this different job, whatever. Like all was great. And the way that it happened was wild. But after getting the job, months later, it was in COVID. So Michael and I were traveling and quarantining. So very specifically, we were in Rhode Island. And I was in the shower and I was reflecting and I was like, hold on a second. I need to go find that piece of paper. I like the paper. I thought about it and I was like, I think it's everything. And I opened it up and I was like so blown away that then I was like, Michael, I need to like confirm with a human on this plane that this has happened.
Wow.
And we look at the paper together and I'm like, everything down to the dollar.
That's insane.
Yeah. So I think key elements there are writing it down is very important and getting clear on what it is that you want. It's okay if it's not coming from the best place then.
Yeah.
But like, and then letting it go. That's one of the Abraham Hicks things. That's this friend of mine had this like let go and let God jar. And she would like put things in there and then they'd come to fruition. Like there is the letting. So if you're coming from a desperate energy, there's a then letting go component because also things could manifest 10 times better than you imagine
That's
them.
true.
Like there is a piece of letting go. And there's one more thing I'll say is that in your human design, there's arrows at the top. And I won't correctly say which is pointing which way, but now the charts will just tell you. You don't need to know the arrows. But there are specific and non-specific manifestors. I'm a non-specific manifestor.
I think I'm specific.
So that sometimes can get tricky for people because everything I just said sounds very specific.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably, the dollar was obviously specific. Everything else was probably like higher level. And I wasn't like picturing a place I was sitting or a specific house I wanted. Or like when people vision boarding, it's like, I want this exact thing. And then you move into that house 4 years later or something. Like that's not mine. Mine's more like an idea, a feeling, a generalization. So I'm a non-specific manifestor. And I think that's important for people to know for themselves. Because if you're non-specific and you're trying to get really specific, it'll block you. That happens to me.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
There's I have so many thoughts. Oh my God. I think what trips me up about the whole process is like all of the steps and all of the things that you have to do and all of the whatever. I think for me, what has worked really well is the knowing what you want and the why.
Yeah,
I think
the why is important.
98% of the population doesn't know what the fuck they want. I truly believe that.
I think even I don't know what I want.
I know I don't either sometimes. So, but like
I think I used to. I think I'm now.
Really?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I'm getting so much more clear the older I get.
Well, I'm working on that in therapy too, but I agree with you. Like, I'm becoming aware that I don't know and why I don't know, and so how to get to knowing. Yeah.
So for me, I have like over the past couple of years gotten closer, and like I love my life right now, and I like and I've always felt grateful in all of these things, but like it's like the I can't describe the reward for like taking the risk or the leap, knowing that like it's like if it's inside of you and you're sure that like it would feel, I don't know. There's something about, for me, taking a step in that direction and then immediately like getting rewarded. So there's something like,
oh, so you need it to happen like for proof?
Oh yeah, I need proof.
Right.
Yes.
So how are you doing that?
So I think for me, okay. So manifestation, I'm learning that like, yes, gratitude is a big component of it. And I've had an issue with the word gratitude in the past around like needing to feel grateful and like being expected to feel a certain way about things. And, so once I realized and had this like moment of like, holy shit, especially with kids and my husband and like this life that we're living, it's like, this is already the dream.
Yeah.
So I think if you're coming from that place of like finding things in your life that already so align with how you want to be and like things that you don't actually want to change and like focusing on the gratitude for those things. And then also focusing on like, how can what I want help other people or like, what's the greater good?
That's, I think, a huge key.
Yes. And so the more I do that, the more it's like, oh, like, you know, you jump off this cliff. I quit my full-time job to do consulting and things just start, no one's dying. Right. Well,
that would be one of the Lacy Phillips elements would be like, you made this big leap of faith.
Yes.
And things are now coming to you because it's right. And because you took that chance. That's just I'm seeing that connection. But one thing I think is important to call out about what you said for people is like, I think it could be like someone would be here coming with you like, well, what if I don't love the life that I have? Like you're describing that you do. And I think
I didn't always.
I know, but also I think something that you said right now was key of like finding the pieces that you do. So if it really feels like you don't, like there's definitely elements somewhere in there. And even if you feel so dark and so lost, like if you're digging and finding the pieces, there's pieces to be grateful for. And like kind of hate when people are like, well, you have
running
a roof
water
over your head. Yeah. And it's like, yes, that is a huge thing to be grateful for. But when you're in the thick of it, you're like, that's not what I want to hear. So I'm not saying necessarily you have to extrapolate so deeply, but like something that feels like it resonates with you, that might resonate with people, right? That could be your thing.
But like a really deep friendship.
Exactly.
Or like some job fulfillment or like this boss that gets me or like this workout class that like I go to and I feel amazing. Like finding those moments
that really feels authentic to you and that you love and you want to create more of that energy. Like you can find it.
And
no
it
matter
totally
how.
creates a domino effect. And I like did not believe that. And it still feels very like woo woo and like I think eye-rolly to me.
But that's the scientific energy behind it.
It's
because
true.
like attracts like is like from a magnet. Like there's like scientific data without the woo side of like, this is how this works.
Yeah.
And we are energy. We know that. Like we are buzzing, atoms buzzing, right? Like we know we're attracting energetic components. So if you're putting out deep dark storm cloud, you're going to get deep dark storm cloud. Not 100% of the time, because you're not always going to be putting that out. But if there's an energy about you, that you're going to attract a similar energy about you. Like my friends are the most wonderful people and they have a similar outlook and are like, I love being around them. Like we clearly, even though we're very different people, carry a similar energetic wave, and that's why we've gravitated towards one another.
Yeah.
And so people who are like victim-y will attract other victim-y people.
Totally.
And then you're like stuck in your shit, like things. So there's ways that is proven, and is also ways to get out of it, right? If you getting clarity, seeing what sort of energy you're putting out, you know, and just trying a little bit to change it.
And to your point too about like, I think that people live in storm clouds when they're suppressing it. Right? I think if you're actually feeling all of your feelings, you're not going to stay in the storm clouds.
That's true.
If you like let yourself like, okay, am I sad? Am I scared? Am I feeling ashamed? Am I feeling like embarrassed? Like, you know?
Yeah. Well, an interesting thought and reflection I had this morning, which is both good and bad, is that nothing will do this to you, like being a parent. But once you become a parent, you have a deep understanding of how everything is fleeting. Good and bad. Yeah. So like periods of time can be magical and wonderful, and transitions and teething and naps and cycles can be really difficult and hard. And then it passes. Yeah. Phases of life pass. And so it's so important to embrace that and realize it, because when you're in a magical time, some people don't spend enough time reflecting on it, and guess what? It's going to go away. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying that to be bearer of bad news or like things are going to get hard, but like seasons of your life will happen. You will have wonderful, amazing seasons, and you will have seasons that are harder, and embracing all of it. And like that, I think that might be the key, right? Like embracing and loving when things are in an easy, great stage, and then embracing and loving when they're not, knowing it's going to pass.
Totally. Well, it's funny, like even, recently, like my niece left to go move to Tampa and spread her wings. And it was really like, you know, she's kind of like a daughter to us.
Yeah.
And that morning I was like really sad. And I cried.
Yeah.
And then I like went and did whatever. And then I like sat there and I cried some more. And I would like, and I had my to-do list, and it was literally, I had therapy that day. I showed Kelly, it was like 30 things that I wanted to do that day. And I'm like, I'm not like, that is not the priority right now. Like I need to sit with this.
Good for you.
And that was like
not the norm for you.
No.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, the pride in being busy, like all of these stories that we tell ourselves. So I truly believe that there is a connection of like how in touch you are with your own, like who you are and what you want and things happening that like are aligned with what you actually want too, right? Like people say they want all this money, and then there's like so much data that like so many rich people are unhappy.
Yeah.
It's like the majority.
Right.
Right.
So I had that conversation with Kelly once too, because I was talking about how deeply I need to slow down. Like that is something I'm working on aggressively, and it's not going great, but I'm trying really hard. And I said I was like, well, sometimes I feel like I need to move away from busyness and like be more in nature and whatever. And she was like, maybe you do. And I was like, no, because unless I heal the reasons why I feel the need to be this busy, or not necessarily feel the need, but like whatever is happening that causes this energy. Yeah. I'm just going to do it elsewhere. I will find shit, right? Like it's not because I live, and it's just that point of what you're saying. It's wherever you go, there you are. Like unless you radically understand and change and have a fundamental like basis of where these things are coming from or what it is, whatever, that's like relationships. Oh, it's this bad relationship, so it's because of this person. Like you're probably going to attract a person exactly the same until you've healed whatever reason is that you have that component.
Totally.
You know?
Well, so two things just came up. I think one, I resisted for so long the picking. And that's kind of how I think about a lot of like the therapy and like the getting in there is like, you're picking at a scab. It does not feel good. Like, it's going to be painful, but it's going to get you like so much clearer, and it's going to heal actually finally, right? Or like maybe not totally heal, but it's going to change your perspective on things, which it has done so much for me. But like being afraid of going there is going to block you so much. Yeah. We're so lucky to work with the best therapist. So that's easy.
Yeah.
But
I think people are also afraid of the things that they want.
Yes.
So like getting clarity on actually.
But then I think sometimes it's like, but do you actually want that? And
also,
it's like,
well, that's so confusing, right?
It is.
Especially in our society. It's like, do I want that, or do I think I want that because everybody else has that? Or, so clarity is super important. Like being true to yourself. Yes. Specific or non-specific.
I know. And it's just to me though, the visualization is really helpful.
Visualization is a proven one too. Yeah. And that's key. If you got to make some time for that. Because then there's your psyche and your nervous system believes it. Yeah. And you feel that feeling like we've talked about. I'm not great at this one. I need to get better. The Mimi Bouchard activations we've talked about before. I have tried some of them, and there is like a buzziness that I can feel of like getting to that place and like feeling that I want to feel like as my future self. So that can work for me sometimes I've done that in like future self meditations. Yeah. And I feel exactly
it feels so, it's like this wise, calm, but like buzzy, like it's not boring or settling.
That's a distinction to make too. Like if you spend time either walking or doing the activation like you were probably doing, or spending time in meditation, it's interesting to just see what comes up because you're kind of letting your like primal brain, like your overthinking brain, take a step back, and then actually seeing what just populates, because usually that comes from a more authentic place. And so like just letting that exercise ride, and then being curious about what you saw or what you thought or how you felt.
Totally. Well, and I think that's so. If someone was going to try manifestation for the first time, and it's funny, my brother, who's not spiritual at all, just manifested like the job he got plus like an insane title bump and salary bump that like numbers I've never heard of. Wow. Yes. And he was like, we were on the phone and I was like, they might not say yes to this. And he was like, well, what if they give me everything I want? Wow. And they did like that and more. Wow. So there's something, that's why I know manifestation is like, if Kurt's like trying it, it's mainstream, right? Right. So, but I would I'm like, if I was trying this for the first time ever, I think I would get kind of specific trying it out. Like not like a salary number, but like I'm gonna like, I don't know, like I can't think of a good example, but like,
Well, I think specific and non-specific gets tripped up a little bit because like I'm non-specific, quote unquote, but I still get pretty granular. Like it doesn't have to be exactly for people who are specific. They probably have to get like down to the T to like believe it and feel it. But I'm non-specific, but I still get a little specific because there's still something that I want or like some
what
sort
if
of
you're
end
like,
outcome.
okay, this month I want to go to a really nice restaurant and I'm not going to have to pay for it.
Oh, interesting.
Something like that.
Okay, so that's more where because you have like the quote unquote proof. Like I do bigger things. I never do stuff.
You never do smaller ones.
Which is dumb. I should.
You should try it.
That
well, that would be a good, like, I think, like, baby step into it just to, like, play with.
Yes. Like, I'm going to turn the corner and get a really good parking spot. Or, like,
Or not get a parking ticket ever.
Right. Yes, exactly.
I don't know how
You're skilled in different ways.
I wish I knew how.
You believe it fundamentally. That's how.
I do believe it. But, like, but not always. I'm like, today I'm an hour expired. We'll see.
But don't you, like, you say that, but in your core...
It would be weird if I got one after all of this time. Yes.
Right. Well, then we would just call bullshit on you and end the podcast.
Yeah, and then, right. Then I'm totally not qualified. Exactly. Yeah. Yes. Oh, my God. Okay, let me ask you the burning question really quick. And
okay. Is it going to be really quick?
No.
Whatever. Just we'll figure it out.
So in terms of your... Yeah. In terms of your spirituality, now, how much of it do you think is to bring you comfort versus help you grow?
I think... I have a growth obsession.
Yeah.
Like a growth mindset.
I think we both do.
Yeah. So I think I'm always seeking the growth, but in that there's comfort because if your growth is to be like a better version of yourself, the best mom, like the best whatever, like it's comforting that I'm doing this work because I will get said end result. But what do you like? I need you to say more.
I think about a lot of times people will get like a tarot reading because they're feeling lost or stuck and they want support or to feel held, right? Or like maybe I'm talking about readings or I'm talking about like situations where like grounding or like Reiki, like energy healing, things like that, where literally the point is to feel more connected or to feel a certain way versus obviously like
to break you out of your
to make you uncomfortable.
I think it's both.
Yeah.
And I think I'm seeking both. Like I don't think one is more powerful than the other because I think all spirituality is finding a level of comfort in yourself. Like that's the point.
That I never thought about it. I kind of like how you said though because I also feel growth obsessed.
Right.
But there's like comfort in that. When you said that I was like what? But now I'm like, we're doing the work. So like, what else?
Because you want to be comfortable or because you're comforted in knowing that like you're going
I'm on the way that I want to, like on the path I want to be on.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, cause there's like the safety, right?
Yeah.
And beliefs.
Right.
And then there's like the being wildly uncomfortable and like pushing and stretching yourself and like seeing how far you can take things.
Right. I don't think that ever feels good, but I think with the spiritual component of it, like.
But we choose that a lot.
Totally.
We choose to be wildly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You do ketamine therapy.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I don't think about, this is the recurring thing with me. I don't like think about the fact that I'm doing this shit in this
so
way.
Funny.
I just like do it, right?
That's not casual or like.
I know. I didn't even think twice. I was like, yeah, for sure, let's do it because I will get the end result that I want. Yeah,
right. And now I'm maybe doing it. So
I know. I'm excited. I can't wait to talk about it. But I think spirituality, at the end of the day, is comfort, and that's what it's reaching.
Yeah.
So I think yes, you're going to have growth no matter what, but I think the reason everyone is doing this or that's why it's so buzzy is because people want comfort and to be more connected to themselves and each other, and that's giving comfort at the end of the day.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's they're not really necessarily opposites.
Right.
Well, there's so much emotion in the cards I just pulled too. I got the 10 of Pentacles, which is like lots of money.
Yay, I love money.
Or just like a very, very stable like career, home. It's like the end of the rainbow. It's like this beautiful.
Because I don't actually love money. I just want stability.
Fair. Yes. And that's funny how when people, that's a whole thing.
Yeah.
2 of Cups and Queen of Cups. I mean, 2 of Cups is like I think we're the 2 of Cups in this, which is
Yeah?
kind of fun. It's just like a
Why?
beautiful sharing of like being vulnerable, opening up.
Yes. Okay.
And there's, I think the overall message with the Queen of Cups too is like emotions aren't weak. Not that we think they are, but like the more you are super in touch with how you feel and why, and if there's a fear, if there's a whatever it is down there, like getting into it is going to like, it's scary as fuck sometimes, but like that's how you grow and move forward and actually get. That's that's how you manifest shit too. Is getting in there.
Yeah, you have to get in.
But like, there's so much power in this card, and like in this, the message is really like you can fucking handle your shit. Like, we're so much more powerful than we think.
Yeah.
With all of this stuff. So,
yay.
Anyway,
that's a good one.
Yay.